Bonjour, Madame Blue here, and I'm back with video 2 of my black hair care series, and we're going to talk about textures. Pause. Texture. My favorite thing in the whole wide world. What is hair texture? Hair texture is the texture of your hair. It is defined as fine, medium, or coarse. Why is it so important? It determines everything. It determines the type of chemical services you can receive. It determines how a hairstylist is going to process your hair based off your texture. It determines the products that you're going to use. So I drew this little picture, right? So this is how hair texture is determined. So let's pretend like this is the hair strand, and then that little circle in between is the cortex. The diameter of the cortex determines your hair texture. So for fine hair, the diameter is usually small. For coarse hair, it's very large. So fine hair is equated to like silk. Medium textured or normal texture hair is equated to like cotton, and then coarse hair is equated to wool. So you determine your texture by let's pretend like this is my hair. So you take a strand of hair and you like rub it between your fingers, and if it feels like nothing's there, most likely your hair is fine. If it feels like you can feel a little bit of hair, most likely it's normal or medium texture. If you can feel it, then most likely it's coarse. If you are having a hard time determining this, then go to your hairstylist. They should know how to determine your texture, I would hope. If not, in your Arizona, come see me. Look. Okay, back to business. So fine hair is usually more fragile, but it does not mean it's weak or it's bad. It's just you have to be careful with it. You know, it's like a newborn baby. You gotta treat it right. So I want to read this quote from Miladies, which is a cosmetology book. I actually learned from Miladies my second go around. No, I did not flunk cosmetology school. That's another story. So fine hair has the smallest diameter and is more fragile, easier to process, and more susceptible to damage from chemical services. So that just means that you need to know how to treat fine hair. If you don't know that your hair texture is fine, then you don't know how to formulate. Let's say, for example, you have fine hair and you want to go blonde and you decide to use lightener with 40 volume developer. Okay, you won't have any hair, but that's cool. If you don't know your hair texture, you're not going to know that you're just doing the most right now. 40 volume developer is the most in general, but it's like, no, you don't want to start with that on fine textured hair because it's easy to process. So there's other things that go in play, but that's just an example. Medium textured hair or normal textured hair is most common. And then coarse hair is more resistant. So in my other video, I said you can relate coarse textured hair to low porosity hair because they're both resistant. Coarse hair usually does have low porosity. And I'd look at my notes, I'm sorry. So you can have different textures on one head. Like literally in the back, I have a different curl pattern and texture, just like this back section of my hair at the nape. I'm just like, really? Like it's bomb. Like all of it is bomb, but still I'm like, it's so easy back there. So it just combs easily. I could do a wash and go with the little back portion. The rest of my hair, no, it's not having that. The shrinkage is real. It like shrinks up a lot more than the back. And then, so if you find coarse hair that does not have low porosity, then that means that the cuticle has changed because of like chemical services. Chemical services can cause the porosity of your hair to change. Now, in the last video, I discussed density, which is basically the thickness of your hair. So hair texture can be of any density, meaning I have like medium density hair and I have fine textured hair. You can have extremely thick hair and still it can be finely textured. You can have extremely thick curly hair and still it can be fine in texture. You can have thin straight hair and it'd be coarse in texture. So your thickness of your hair does not determine your texture. Your curl pattern does not determine your texture. I'm going to get into that in a second. Your texture is defined by the size of your cortex. It's important to know texture because if you use the incorrect chemicals, you can overprocess your hair, and when you overprocess your hair, you affect the elasticity, as I explained in my last video. Pause. If you have not seen my last video, make sure you go check out video 1. And So let's say, for example, relaxer. So a lot of times, again, we have finely textured hair, but we don't know that. So we think because it's fuzzy or frizzy and that it's very curly and that it's thick, that it's coarse. So we go get a coarse relaxer, then we put it on our fine hair. We process it at the coarse relaxer time, which is like 5 minutes more than the fine hair time. And then now we have stick straight hair. The elasticity is shot. It's very damaged. So if you ever had hair that was like stick straight flat to your head and then you tried to curl it, did not hold a curl, that's because it's over processed. More than likely you over process it for your hair texture. So hair that's over, like if you don't know your texture and you over process it, then a lot of times you mess with the elasticity of the hair, so you can't hold a style. And that's even if you try to do like wet sets, like roller sets, perm rod sets, anything like that. So curl pattern. Curl pattern is not texture. Again, curl pattern is not texture. I don't know how true this is. Another hairstylist that I follow, she said that the whole 4A B C D E F G chart was made up by Oprah's hairstylist. I don't even know if that's true. I don't know Oprah's hairstylist. Either way, I don't know where it came from, but it needs to go back. 4A B C D E F G means absolutely nothing. It does not tell you what type of products to use. It does not tell you how to process your hair for chemical services. It does not tell you anything except your curl pattern. Curl pattern is not as relevant as people make it to be, because again, it does not determine the type of products that you're going to use or the type of services that you can receive. Like curly hair a lot of times is usually frizzier and knots up easily, and that's because usually with curly hair comes a slightly raised or raised cuticle. And if you have a raised cuticle, then it is prone to knotting and tangling. So let me equate that to weave. If you ever have hair, like Remy hair that's classified as Remy, meaning the cuticle is all aligned going in one direction, a closed cuticle in one direction. And that's important because if the cuticle is all over the place like this and all your hair is tangling together and all the cuticles are open and mixing together, then that's how you get knotting. So if you ever get a weave, sorry, I've been talking with my hands. If you ever get a weave and you got that little cat ass in the back, that's because the cuticles are not all aligned and they just took a whole bunch of hair, put on some tracks, and now you got it on your head and your hair is all bunched up in the back and you look like, oh girl, why you got them cheap bundles? That's a whole other story, but that can kind of help you understand how a open or raised cuticle reacts. So okay, so I say that again, that curl pattern is not important because it's not going to help you do anything in life. A lot of companies pay attention, right? So they see that consumers have now become obsessed with classifying their hair as 4A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So what do? They created products with 4A, B, C, D, E, F, G hair. So now they're winning and we're still losing because we are letting curl pattern define our entire hair. So I say it's not important because let's just say, for example, this would be a lot better if I had my real hair out, but I don't, sorry. Let's just say, for example, we have someone with wavy hair. We're going to say wavy. And they have a fine textured hair. They have normal porosity, normal elasticity, and it's thick. Wavy hair, what is wavy hair class? So let's just say we have 3A hair. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to call it wavy. And then let's say we have 4C hair. I think that's like really, really kinky hair. I don't know. So let's say we have, did I say 3A hair and 4C hair. And we want to know what products to use. That's irrelevant because this 3A person could have coarse hair and this 4C person can have fine hair. So if you're assuming because of their hair texture or their curl pattern that they have soft silky hair, you could be mistaken because their texture is totally different. Their porosity levels are totally different. They could have wavy hair that's coarse and very resistant, and this hair over here could be very curly, but because it's finely textured, then it's going to react differently than this hair. So knowing your curl pattern means absolutely nothing. I need y'all to stop being tricked by these companies. Your curl pattern, again, I can't stress this enough, it means nothing. It's not going to help you get healthy hair. It's not going to determine anything. It's just your curl pattern. And your, oh, I forgot this part. Man, I'm going to insert pictures. But your curl pattern is determined by your hair follicle. Wavy is not defined by 4A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's straight, it's wavy, it's curly, it's very curly, or coily. That's it. Those four. All those extra letters and numbers, I don't know what that's about, but it means absolutely nothing. So, I think that's it. I hope once again that I've said something that educated you in some way. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Share this video with all your friends. We are not playing games in 2019. Black women will be educated the right way. We are not making up things. We are not going to Google. We are not getting information from unlicensed professionals, or professionals who are licensed but don't continue their education. We're not doing that. If you have a hairstylist, talk to your hairstylist, ask them questions. If they can't answer them, find another one. I mean, even if they can't answer them right then and there, they may have to get back to you. They just don't know at all, or they tell you, oh, go on YouTube. Oh, I don't know, you can Google that. You got to get another one, okay? They're not there for you. It is so hard to make a video and not be looking at myself while I'm making the video. But again, comment below if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to have a discussion. Slide in my DMs. I'm Madame Blue everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can find me. Again, like, share, subscribe. So if I don't shut up now, I'm going to keep talking. So anyways, thank you for watching. Again, let me know if you have any other questions, and, be blessed.